Cool. So this one's on Michael Dunn.
Hello?
This is Global Tel-Link. Three-way calling is prohibited. All inmate telephone calls are recorded. I have a prepaid call from
Mike Dunn,
an inmate at Duval County Jail.
Duval
Your account
County
balance is $27.85. If you wish to accept this prepaid call, dial 0 and thank you.
hello.
Hey, honey.
Hope you don't mind I called you back.
No, I'm glad you did.
So being in a room by myself kind of sucks, but I guess it'd be better than being in a room with them animals.
Well, they probably wouldn't think too highly about what's going on, and so it is best, but I can only imagine. But your mom said she was sending you a book.
Yep.
Great conversation.
And I don't know how she's going about
You
this.
know, I was thinking about this today, and I was like, I'm the victim here. I'm the fucking victim here. I was the one that was being preyed upon,
Sure.
and I fought back.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, so it's my fault because
Sure.
I asked them to turn their radio down.
Right.
It's like I got attacked, and I fought back because I didn't want to be a victim, and now I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I refuse to be a victim, and now I'm incarcerated.
Oh, no.
I somehow insulted these boys by asking them to turn the radio down, and for that, they were going to kill me. I mean, it's absurd that they would do that, but, you know, they're violent.
Well, honey, I don't
This
think
doesn't
we
sound
should
like
talk about
racism
it.
at all.
I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Like, they attacked me. I'm the victim. I'm the victor, but I was the victim, too.
Cool. Weird flex.
In the late Friday afternoon of November 23, 2012, a young couple were getting married at the Winterbourne Inn, an impressive wedding venue situated along the St. Johns River. They held hands and recited vows in near silence as 50 guests looked on toward the scenic ceremony. One of those guests, sitting in the front row, was 45-year-old software developer Michael Dunn, the father of the groom. Sitting next to him was his girlfriend of 4 years and fiancé of 6 months, 45-year-old nurse Rhonda Rower.
Raise your right hand, please. The clerk's going to administer the oath to you. Right hand. There you go. Just relax. It's okay. Relax.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So
Cool looking ring.
Ms. Rower, do you know someone by the name of Michael Dunn?
Yes, I do.
How long have you known Mr. Dunn for?
About 4 years.
Why is she so
Ms.
upset?
Rower, what is your relationship to Mr. Dunn?
He's my fiance.
Why did you and the defendant come up to Jacksonville on Thursday night for the Friday wedding?
Because we have a puppy named Charlie, and because you usually can't check into hotels until like 3 or 4, and with the wedding being at 4, we didn't think we'd have time to get settled.
They had just drove 2 hours from their shared home in Brevard County, and their 7-month-old French bulldog named Charlie was waiting for them at a hotel roughly 15 miles from the venue.
And did you have anything to drink during the reception?
I had a glass of red wine, and then I had about 2 to 3 rum and cokes.
And do you know whether or not the defendant had anything to drink?
He had rum and coke as well.
Do you know how many drinks he had?
He maybe had 3 or 4.
They stayed for just over 3 hours at the reception, then reportedly had to leave early to go back to the hotel and take the puppy for a walk. They were staying at the Sheridan Hotel on Deerwood Park Boulevard, but as they were driving back, decided to pull into the Gate gas station on Bay Meadows Road at the last minute.
What was the reason for stopping at the gas station?
To get a bottle of wine.
And whose idea was it, Miss Rower?
Mine.
Just before they got to the gas station, the car in front of them had the same idea and pulled in just before they did. The occupant of that vehicle would be known as Witness 7.
When you pulled up, was there an open spot to the right of the red Dodge Durango?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Tell these jurors why you didn't pull into that empty spot next to the sidewalk.
I heard the loud music. Didn't want to deal with it.
The Dodge Durango in question belonged to 18-year-old Tommy Storns, who at the time was inside the store buying cigarettes, while his three friends, Leyland Brunson, Jordan Davis, and Tevin Thompson, remained in the car.
At some point while the three of you were waiting for Tommy Storns to come back, did a car pull into the parking space on the passenger side of the Dodge Durango?
Yes, sir.
And is that the side that you were sitting on?
Yes, sir.
Driving that car was Michael Dunn,
Sounds like he didn't
who
have to
uttered
park
something
there.
to his fiancée before she went inside.
Did the defendant say anything about the music when he parked the car next to the red car?
Yes.
And what did the defendant say?
I hate that thug music.
And what was your response to the defendant?
I said, yes, I know.
What happened, Ms. Rauer, after the defendant parked the car?
I gave him a kiss. I took $20 and I went into the store.
Mr. Thompson, while the three of you were waiting for Tommy Storns, did the defendant say anything to you or in your direction?
Yes, sir.
And what was that?
He said, "Can you turn the music down? I can't hear myself think."
And what did you do when he said, turn the music down?
I turned the music down.
When you turned the music down, did either Leland Brunson or Jordan Davis say anything to you?
Yes, sir.
Who spoke?
Jordan.
And what did Jordan Davis say?
Turn the music back up.
And what did you do when you got back to the Durango?
I opened the door, I danced a little bit to the song that was playing, I got in the car.
Did you see or hear the driver say anything to Jordan Davis after Tommy Storns got back in the Durango?
Yes.
What was that?
Are you talking to me?
And how could you hear that?
Tevin turned the music down.
When?
When Tommy got back in to let him know what happened.
Did Jordan Davis say anything back to the driver when the driver said, are you talking to me?
Yes.
What did he say?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Please tell the jurors what happened next.
I heard someone yell, or someone say something very loud.
And what did you hear that person say?
No, you're not going to talk to me that way.
What did you see the driver of the other car do when Jordan Davis said, yeah, I'm talking to you?
He reached into his glove department.
It was a big silver chrome, either 9mm or a 45. It was a large caliber.
You recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Does that appear to be the gun that you saw in the defendant's hand?
Yes, sir.
And what did the driver do with the gun when he grabbed it from the glove compartment?
He was holding it and cocked it back.
As you were walking to the register, did you hear anything unusual?
Yes.
What did you hear?
I heard pop, pop, pop.
Within 3 minutes of Michael Dunn pulling into the gas station, he fired a total of 10 shots into the vehicle next to him. The first 3 shots came through the back passenger side door, at which moment Tommy Storns hit reverse and backed up at full speed. The 4th shot missed, while shots 5, 6, and 7 came through the front passenger side door. The SUV then did a J-turn, at which point Michael Dunn got out of his car, took aim at the retreating vehicle, and fired 3 more shots into the back. The amount of time that passed from the first volley of gunfire to the second was exactly 4 seconds. Tommy Storns' quick thinking most likely saved multiple lives, as he took the car out of the shooter's line of fire midway through the first volley. Unfortunately, however, it wasn't enough to save everyone, as Jordan Davis had already been struck 3 times. He was hit in the leg, lungs, and heart, causing him to bleed to death in under 45 seconds. He was 17 years old. Roughly 20 seconds after the gunfire ceased, Rhonda realized it was her fiancé that had fired the shots, at which point she went outside to see what was going on.
What a fucking loser, dude.
I opened the door, and he said, get in the car. And I don't know if I said what, or if I said anything, or if I just hesitated. And he said, get in the car. But he was, you know, he just had that sound in his voice, you know, of urgency. Yeah. And so I got in the car.
You get in the car, he pulls out to leave. What's
His
the
music was
conversation like
loud.
in the car?
Well, I asked him, what happened?
Right.
That's what I said. I said, what happened? And he said, I shot at the car. And I'm like, we're moving at this time.
Right.
And I said, what car?
Why is she
And he
blurred
said,
out? We
"The
literally
one
know
with
who
the
this
music."
is. I'm so confused.
And I said, why? And he said, because they threatened to kill me. And I'm like, I don't understand, Michael. And I don't remember the words, exact words that he used, but it was like that they started to advance, and I reacted.
Okay, they started to advance and I reacted.
In their car?
Then I asked him, I said, did you hurt anyone?
Started shifting in
and
their
he
seat.
said, no, I just shot at the car.
They started shimmying. They started shimmying in their seat. And when I told them to turn their music down, they told me to fuck off because it's a public space. So I took out my gun and I shot them 10 times. Yeah. Because they were threatening me. Fucking loser.
And you know, in my head, should I be telling you what I was thinking?
Yeah, I think
okay.
you've already told us.
They were having fun.
Just tell me.
Being teenagers.
So in my head, I'm thinking, you know, you stupid ass.
I'm an old crotchety racist.
What were you thinking? Why, you know, would you do this? But I could see that he was already upset, and I didn't want to add to that.
Right.
So I kept those thoughts to myself, and I figured I'd just tell him in the morning.
Okay.
And
is this all in the car?
This poor
or?
girl.
Okay, this is all in the car.
And then by then, we were back at the hotel.
Okay.
Michael then walks the dog, orders a pizza, and pours himself a stiff rum and coke before they both go to sleep. There was almost no conversation between them the entire night.
Just kind of walk me through kind of how the morning plays out.
Job well done.
So I got up.
Fuck you.
And I start getting dressed, and the news is on. And he, and I see
Give me the dog.
red SUV. Now, mind you, I had no idea what kind of vehicle they were in, but I knew it was red. And so I see the red SUV being...
Over loud music, he could have avoided being by the way. One of the witnesses literally said he parked somewhere else because he didn't want to pull up next to it. This guy pulls up next to it and literally starts a fight and also kills a kid over loud music. Fucking loser.
Towed.
Jesus, dude. What an absolute
all I hear are,
scum. Imagine you're this guy's parent. I would hate that. I would hate to have created someone like this.
Music, and then I don't know if they
I'd be
said
so ashamed.
a person was dead or just one dead or and I said Mike, and I turned around and he was standing in the doorway of the bathroom and he said, yes, I saw. And then I said, we need to go home.
Okay, so you get it.
Ad played. Yup. We're vibing. Dude. Yeah, right after his child gets married. I bet you he's gonna try to defend that. He's gonna try to be like, I was drunk. I had 3 rum and cokes and now I want to kill somebody. Thanks, Coca-Cola. Enjoy the civil suit. The sugar really got to me. Bow, 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 bow. This is unfortunately real, dude. This is why we do this sort of thing. This is why we do this sort of thing, though. Because, like, this shit happens for no reason. I mean, those kids don't deserve anything like that to happen to them. Just because some old-ass man looks at them and he's like, you don't, your skin color's different. Oh. Does it, like, they don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. And I want, like, I understand some of you are never going to deal with this sort of thing. I've never dealt with that sort of thing. I blast loud music in my car all the time. All the time. Nobody tells me to turn it the fuck down. That's not fair. Like, it's important that some of you see this sort of thing. Like, you got to understand that that's not right. Like, they don't deserve. Like, people don't get to deserve. They don't get to deserve. Jesus, dude, I cannot talk today. Like, They don't deserve to be bothered in general, let alone shot at, because they were kids having fun. And you got to understand this sort of thing. This is real. You know, this is a very real thing. And it's important for a lot of us to be understanding and to vocalize how fucked up this sort of thing is. We need to literally bully the shit out of anybody who expresses anything close to this sort of behavior. Because privilege is the most undeserved, stupid fucking thing to exist. And all these fucking assholes use it to oppress other people for nothing other than a singular difference that means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. Like, imagine getting mad because somebody's skin color is different. Who gives a shit? You know how much I have in common with anybody who doesn't look anything like me? A fucking lot. Like, way more than the fact that they don't have the same skin color. Who gives a shit? Imagine caring. I think some of you might not deal with this sort of thing. I certainly don't. And I think what's been extremely enlightening for me, because I studied a lot of this stuff, is I get to see, I get exposed to more of this stuff. You know, I don't know how often I will witness it firsthand, but it's important to understand it exists, and it's important to discourage anything close to this sort of thing. Can I prove it was racially motivated? A 45-year-old white guy pulled up next to a car with 4 black teenagers in it, looked at his fiance and said, "I hate that thug music." And the second they retorted, he said, "You don't get to talk to me like that," and then opened 10 rounds into them. I would love for you to prove how that isn't racially motivated. How is that even justifiable? I mean, that's pretty fucked. I don't even care. I don't even care what your logic is if it's not. That's pretty fucking motivated racially. I just don't, even if it's not, there's just no reason to shoot an entire magazine into a car because they want you to shut up. Because you're a little fucking old, dumb, white loser who's mad music is loud. Oh, my poor eardrums. If only there was multiple places in a gas station, I could have gone and ignored it from farther away. You know, like multiple parking spots. Maybe it was a dude. Yeah. Maybe it was a dude looking for a problem. Because of people like you. This is why racial tension in this country is getting so bad, because of people like you. What are you fucking talking about? What are you talking about? I just went on like a big tangent about how skin color makes no difference. And like literally we have so many things in common, and the fact that people focus on this singular thing for no reason other than it looks different is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. And I'm making fun of a 45-year-old white guy who called who got upset that 4 black teenagers were playing music and referred to their music as thug music, and then shot and killed one of them. and you're saying I'm causing problems racially. I would love your explanation. Because I'm making fun of a racist and a murderer and acknowledging that racial tension exists and am willing to speak up against it, I'm causing an issue. I think your fucking complacency and silence and willingness to not want to talk about it is the problem. I think me being outspoken against a dude who's clearly a fucking racist piece of shit and wanted to do something about it, I think me being able to make fun of that dude and encourage 3,000 people to be better than that is doing the exact opposite of causing racial tension. I don't think discouraging racism is causing racial tension. I don't think making fun of them and just bullying them and putting them in the dirt where they belong is going to cause racial tension. You know what that's going to do? Get rid of racists. Or at least not let them do the things they get to do. If that's racial tension, good. Fuck them. There's no room. There's no room for that shit. You want to fucking allow that shit? I don't. Why the fuck would I want to allow that shit? Shut the fuck up. If you're mad about that shit, I don't give an absolute fuck. I do not care. I can't wait. The further we go down this video, they continuously emphasize how much this guy is probably racist. And you just get to sit there and think about you made this sort of comment. You have fun.
Said a person was dead or just one dead and I said Mike, and I turned around and he was standing in the doorway of the bathroom and he said, yes, I saw him. And then I said, we need to go home.
Okay, so you get your car and drive home.
Yes.
Do you
Imagine.
stop at all coming home?
No.
Okay, so you drive straight to the house.
Straight to the house.
What's kind of how does that all play out?
He just kept telling me that he loved me.
The whole drive down?
Yeah.
Were you guys really talking about it at all?
No, we were listening to the radio, and then he would, turn it down and just say, I love you, and I know,
Okay.
but I'm dumbfounded.
Right. It's okay. Take your time. Take a minute.
And it was just it was a horrible trip.
Yeah.
Right.
And
like I don't get it. Like I'm not allowed to talk about it because I'm also white. Like, no, I'm gonna talk about it. You're gonna deal with it. I'm gonna make fun of a fucking white privileged asshole for thinking he can do something like that. Oh no. Oh no. I'm causing tension against racists. Those poor pieces of shit. What am I going to do? I bet they feel awful and oppressed for their shitty behavior. Good. I don't care. Just like they don't care that people are different. Who gives a fuck? I'm glad. I'm glad they're not allowed to share their opinion. They don't get to. They don't get to be racist. Imagine that being controversial. Apparently that's controversial. I'm causing racial tension by saying fuck racism. Poor you. Are you gonna cry? You gonna wave your Confederate flag around? Shut the fuck up.
so no, I didn't want to hear anything. And so I was just get us home.
Right.
Get us home.
Okay.
And then when I walked back in the house, is when I got the call from you.
Witnesses at the scene of the shooting took down Michael's number plate, and police were able to track him down at his home in Brevard County. He was brought back to the JSO Police Department without incident, and immediately subjected to interrogation. It began at exactly 4 p.m., 22 hours after the shooting.
If you do answer questions, you have the right to stop answering questions at any time and consult with a lawyer.
I bet he's going to speak a
You
lot.
understand those rights? Yes, sir. Okay. If you could just sign where it says signature, and by signing there, you're just acknowledging that I went over your rights with you and that you do understand your rights.
God, this would sure be crazy if this dude, who clearly was racially motivated to do something like this, is going to consistently speak and try to justify the fact that he murdered an innocent teenager. I'm going to be shocked.
Obviously, I just kind of want to talk to you about what occurred last night.
It's important to contemplate what the suspect is most likely thinking at this moment, as well as the character he is now trying to play. He wants to come across as the victim, who had no other choice but to take the action he did the night before, and needs to appear as rational, reasonable, and as considerate as possible. He knows that someone has died due to a situation that he initiated, and now needs to bend not only the facts, but also the perceptions of others.
So just kind of walk me through, just tell me from your point of view what you guys pull up. You're driving. It's your car? Is that correct? Yes, sir. Okay, and you're driving? Yes, sir. Okay, it's a Volkswagen, correct? Yes, sir. Okay. She's sitting in the passenger seat. No one else in the car with you, correct? Correct. Okay. Just kind of walk me through kind of what happened at that point.
Well, I'm embarrassed to say this, but got out. She's in the store, and there's like a SUV next to us, and
how embarrassing! I murdered a child.
The music starts, and I roll down my window, and I thought I was polite. I asked them nicely. I didn't demand. I didn't, or else I said, "Hey, would you guys mind turning that down?" And they shut it off. I was like, "Thank you." Cordial. Everything's cordial. I put my window back up. I'm doing my stuff.
You just minded your own fucking business.
I don't know how many kids are in that, but the windows are down for the back seat. The windows are up for the
Cool,
front
so
seat.
even knew you shot kids. Cool.
The guy that was
Another
in the back
understanding
was
thing
getting
to do.
really agitated.
Shoot children.
And my window's up. I can't hear everything he's saying, but, there's a lot of fuck him and fuck that and
yeah, good.
Fuck that bitch.
Good.
And then the music comes back on, and I'm just like, live and let live, and don't need any trouble.
The detectives will entertain his standpoint for the time being. They will remain as neutral as possible as he recounts his own narrative. This is because they need him to divulge as much information as possible while he remains without counsel. The more detail he gives away, the more they will have to evaluate and possibly use against him at a later stage. They will almost appear to be agreeing with everything he says, which is for the purpose of encouraging disclosure. If they were to challenge him this early, it would more than likely prevent him from opening up.
And I don't know if
shoots
they're singing
kid
or
politely.
What, it's like they're saying
That's fucked
kill
up,
him.
dude.
So I put my window down again, and I said, "Excuse me, are you talking about me?" And it was like, "Kill that bitch." And
yeah, I'm sure they said that.
I'm still not reacting, but then this guy goes down on the ground and comes up with something. I thought it was a shotgun, and he goes, "You're dead, bitch!" And he opens his door, and I'm shitting bricks. But that's when I reached in my glove box, unholstered my pistol. I mean, I
and shot them as they were retreating.
Fort Malabar rifle and pistol range. I'm an avid, gun guy and all that. No military training or anything, but I have friends who are in the military that show me the...
That means fucking nothing.
Yes, and so quicker in a flash, I had a round chambered in it, and I shot. That's when I reached in my glove box, unholstered my pistol. Quicker than a flash, I had a round chambered in it.
The prosecution would later argue
proud
that
of
if the
it.
suspect was so traumatized both during and after the incident,
Wouldn't do
as he
that.
stated multiple times, he wouldn't feel the need to add dramatic pauses while recounting the event, nor add complimentary remarks to his gun handling skills.
Would
It's
not be
almost as
proud
if
of
he
it.
can't help but boast about the shooting, despite being so allegedly horrified and shaken up by it.
Okay. Do you remember how many times you shot?
4.
Nope. Wrong.
Okay, just keep walking me through kind of
All
what
right,
you
well,
remember.
I shot 4 times, and that SUV pulled out, and like I said, in my mind,
You're
they
missing
got a
6
gun.
rounds, 3 of them that
And
killed a
so,
kid too.
You know, not training, just from, I was still scared,
Mhm.
and so I shot 4 more times. As they were,
Still
as they
missing
were
2.
fleeing. Yeah, trying to keep their heads down to not catch
Quicker
them
than a
in turn.
flash, I murdered a teenager.
All right, and then
And that was it. I mean, I still didn't feel safe. I thought, you know, there was another
Pathetic,
car.
dude.
I didn't know. I mean, I'm in a strange town, in a strange area. I just had my life threatened. The love of my life is in the store, and she doesn't know what's going on. She come outside to see what was up, and I was just like, get in the car. We have to go. I just didn't feel safe there. In fact,
Yeah, I
we
just
had
murdered a child.
plans.
We
In
have to
fact,
go.
a fairly expensive bed and breakfast paid for in St. Augustine.
More unnecessary detail that someone distraught by a recent event wouldn't feel the need to clarify. If he genuinely thought he was as close to being killed as he stated, or
Not
if
my
he was at all
money.
upset about the fate of the young man he had just shot dead, the fact that he missed out on a fairly expensive bed and breakfast would most likely be overlooked.
Oh.
You know, after what happened last night, and we were like, we have to go home and call the local sheriff and tell him what's up.
Well, where'd you go after?
Which you didn't.
When
We
you
went
left?
right to our room.
You went right to the hotel?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you
Didn't leave. We were just
Stay
like
in the hotel
sitting
room?
Rick's waiting for another carload of thugs to come. I mean, I'd never been so scared in my life.
These exact statements were brought up when his fiancée Rhonda was interviewed 4 days later.
Michael said something in the interview that was kind of, he made a comment that you guys went back to the room and he was basically waiting on some thugs with guns to come to the room at any given time. When you guys got back to the hotel, did he take the gun out of the glove box and take it up to the room with you guys?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so you left it in the car.
I do believe so.
Okay. And then you go up to the room and he gets the dog and goes outside and walks the dog.
So he's so comfortable that even he'll go back outside and walk again without the gun with the dog.
Wait, did he call them thugs? I didn't hear that.
Another carload of thugs to come. I mean,
Guys, this may be really shocking, and I'm sorry for causing racial tension by saying this, but this dude might be a racist. And fuck this guy. Sorry for the hot take, though.
I'd never been so scared.
When you guys got back to the hotel, did he take the gun out of the glove box and take it up to the room with you guys?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so you left it in the car.
I do believe so.
Okay. And then you go up to the room and he gets the dog and goes outside and walks the dog.
So he's so comfortable that even he'll go back outside and walk again without the gun with the dog.
I don't even care if this is racially motivated. This dude literally killed a 17-year-old.
I would have to assume so, yes.
Okay. And you guys just stayed in the hotel room?
Life in prison.
Did you go anywhere else?
No, we ordered out. We got pizza.
Pizza.
The investigators
Like,
have
who gives a
secured their
shit at that-
baseline
like-
narrative from the suspect and will now slowly ramp up the pressure. They will begin to destabilize his thought process
Over
by
music.
inducing anxiety, and then set traps for him to incriminate himself further. They essentially need him to panic, and as he panics, they will pose more calculated questions. However, they have to do this in a subtle and methodical manner, as if they push it too far, they could scare him into shutting down completely, or even into requesting legal counsel and ending the interrogation right then and there.
Guys, stop. You're causing racial tension by accusing this 45-year-old white guy who's called
strange town.
black teenagers thugs multiple times.
You have this
You're causing tension by
traumatic event
accusing him of
happen to you,
racism,
and
okay?
I can understand that. Okay. The problem, I can tell you, where we start to
gotta
kinda
prove
get
it,
a
dude.
little wondering is, by the time you say you get to your hotel room, you're calling to order pizza. Why aren't you calling us?
I wanted to come back to my hometown to do that.
I hope that dude who said
I
that
shouldn't
shit's
even
still
left the
watching. He's like,
scene. But I left the scene because I was still afraid for.
He doesn't get
it. And I can live with that.
They're making fun of us.
I can live with that. You don't necessarily want to hang around right where the shooting happened because you don't know if these guys are coming back. I'm good with that.
Or if there are more.
You know, but
or
once
just
you
maybe,
leave,
I don't want people
and you are
killed
away from that scene,
over nothing.
and you've even gotten to
Not
a
loud
hotel
music,
room
not
and
skin
inside
color.
your hotel
Weird.
room at that point.
And I'll make fun of the guy who did it.
You know, now it doesn't. Now it makes me wonder. You know, because
stay mad.
If you make a phone call,
rent seems pretty cheap in your
one,
head.
we find out, you know, a lot quicker what's going on. Okay. The reason he and I haven't been to sleep since sometime yesterday is because we're trying to figure out. All we know is we got a dead kid in a car, okay, and we got a guy who shot and hauled ass. That's all we know. I mean, I'm just. That's where we start to get a little concerned. It starts to be, you know, and you know, we can speak that I personally have had a case with an individual who was moving to Jacksonville, first day in Jacksonville, and got involved in an incident and felt threatened and shot another person and was in their car, and he drove across the street to another parking lot and got on the phone with 911 immediately and started walking police into where he was.
Ordered a pizza.
You know, that's the way I mean,
I have nothing to say other than that.
So other problems that we have too. When you began to shoot, can you honestly tell us that you ever saw a gun inside that vehicle?
I saw a barrel come up on the window.
He has now gone from saying that he saw a shotgun to now seeing a barrel come up on the window, and his emphasis while giving the statement was weak and unconvincing. If he had spoken with an attorney, his response to this question would have been that he without a doubt saw a shotgun, and his conviction to the claim would have been immensely forceful. It would make it far easier for his defense to create reasonable doubt within the jury, which the suspect has now made extremely difficult, and continues on to make it even more so.
Like a single shot shotgun where
I can't believe this, dude. The guy who's a racist is also an idiot.
It's either a barrel or a stick, but sir, they're like, we're gonna kill you, and then they say you're dead, bitch. I mean, I didn't wait to look to see if they were
I'm
gonna point it at
shocked.
me. He reached down and picked it up. And then
who reached down and picked it up?
well, hopefully it's the guy that I hit.
Oh, yeah.
Where was he sitting when he reached
He
down
was
and
sitting in the rear passenger side.
Hopefully?
And that's the guy that was really agitated. And then that's the guy that I asked, are you talking about you're gonna kill me?
Instead of like
I said, I didn't know what, you know. My window.
Even if this situation occurred the way he's explaining, he shot a gun at in the same area of 3 people who were uninvolved. Hopefully? Like, imagine thinking this is okay.
Window is up. He was saying a lot, but that's what came through. And I put my window down to Ask him.
And the music is still playing at this time? And
Yes, but he is really loud and really animated.
Louder than the music that's bothering you?
Yes, well, the music was a nuisance at first. You know, with my car shut and the windows up, and you just hear the heavy bass.
Oh, so you could have just gotten the fuck over it. Crazy.
Down, and they did. They shut it off, which, you know, I said thanks. But it really wasn't an issue of loud music. It was an issue of them threatening my life.
No.
But it started from me.
Absolutely, and, you know, that's when I started
And the
telling you
music
guys
was
I'm
playing
embarrassed.
when you pulled up?
No, it was not.
It was not?
So you guys pull in, okay? Now, when he pulls in next to the red SUV, is that correct?
That's correct.
It was already there?
Yes.
Correct, okay. And was the music playing?
Yes.
Okay, the music's playing.
Like we said, there's some issues that we have. I'll be the first to tell you there's no weapons in the car.
I love this detective.
Put yourself in the suspect's position and imagine everything you had said up to this moment was truthful. You had just shot and killed a person, yet fully believed it was either your life or theirs. A legitimate and justifiable act of self-defense. Now imagine the outright shock and dismay you would feel at the very moment you realized that wasn't the case.
I don't know what you saw.
That's possible. When they drove off, they dumped it.
They never left the parking lot.
They circled around until they saw you leave, and then they drove right back. Because they saw you leave at that point.
So you leave and they realized their friend had been hit. So they never left the parking lot.
They came right back at that point.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
It's evident that he's unremorseful over the consequences of his conduct, yet also appears to be totally unaware of the magnitude of his own situation. He's far too relaxed, and the detectives ramp up the pressure once more.
Here's what has to happen. I know that from your position right now that you're going to do everything to protect yourself. And I can't say that I blame you for that. But we're going to need the total truth as to what happened. Not this story that I've had from 7:30 last night till 12 o'clock today to fix up. Okay, because the only thing that's going to make sense to us is the truth matching the scene. And there was the biggest problem we got, the first hurdle we got to get over is that there's no weapon in that truck.
This dude is so pissed
There was
off.
nothing found in or
You
near the
can hear
car
it in
that
his
resembled a
voice
stick nor a
that he-
weapon.
that
The
he
suspect is now trying to
despises this
forge a
dude.
narrative that his actions were justified.
Biggest problem we got, the first hurdle we got to get over is that there's no weapon in that truck.
Do you have a stick?
There was nothing found in or near the car that resembled a stick nor a weapon. The suspect is now trying to forge a narrative that his actions were justified due to his
Why would
perception
somebody
of
just
a
have a
threat,
stick in their
regardless
car,
of if there
dude?
was one or not.
Well,
The second problem we have is that the last set of rounds when the truck is backing away from you, and you put 4 more sets in it, 4 more shots into it. That's an issue.
Almost as if they were
And
trying
now
to
it's
get
backing
away from the
away.
gunshots.
It's no longer a threat.
Yes, sir. I understand that. In my mind, they had a weapon.
I don't think you do.
I can't shoot someone because in my mind they had a weapon. That's the problem. I mean, if I walked up to someone right now and I'm having a confrontation with them and I think they have a weapon, the law doesn't allow me to shoot him because I think he has a weapon.
Let me ask you this: when you pulled your gun out, say you're sitting in your driver's seat like that, straight ahead. How did you shoot? Did you shoot one-handed? Did you shoot two-handed?
Two-handed, like that.
Two-handed, like this. You come across your body. Okay, and you shoot the first. What you said, 4 shots is what
Well,
you
so
remember.
more deliberate. Love
And
that.
then they start backing out. Do you continue to shoot through the window, or do you reposition yourself?
I don't recall, but I do remember getting out of my car and
to shoot
taking,
more.
Like getting sideways, and I was like waiting for the wink or.
But once again,
all this is.
Okay. Once again, if you think they have something,
Waiting for the
think they have a
wink?
shotgun.
They
you're
had
gonna
a shotgun.
You think they have a shotgun. You're gonna get out of your car so they can get a good aim on you. Making sense?
No,
Well,
you
at
would drive the
time,
fuck
I was
away.
doing everything on adrenaline and no.
But I'm just saying, we're trained to, if we think something is there, to get out of the way.
To get out of the way.
Cover or concealment. So you're telling me that you thought they had a shotgun, but you got out of your car.
Yeah.
So they would get a
Right
good
here.
answer is what you're telling me.
Well, I thought maybe they would shoot at the car and I wouldn't be in it.
But the car, your car's not shooting at them. You are.
Yeah.
Why would they shoot at your car?
They can't.
I thought the car
Honestly,
would distract
sir,
them.
I'm at a loss to justify what I did on the second
Oh,
volley.
no, you
I thought they were going to be shooting back, and I was keeping them from doing that.
He just said he has no justification. Or it's done.
such a
Plea
pain.
bargain. You're not even a plea bargain. Throw this guy into
Get the
jail.
gun, rack it,
No
and
plea.
then reassess.
Don't even
No,
give
I
him the
didn't
plea.
reassess. I
So
started shooting.
you
It was
grabbed,
coming at me
you
with a
went, grabbed
shotgun.
gun, rack came up.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you see him start to come out of the door of the truck. At that point, you turn.
Literally said
get
there's
the
no
gun. Is that correct?
justifiable reason
Take it out
for
of your
what I
glove box.
did.
You unholster it. You rack
So
around,
should you
and you come back up on
should
target.
you bill the prosecution or?
Okay. In the amount of time he's starting to get out of the truck when you first start to go get your. But yet, by the time you come back and start shooting, he's still in the truck.
He's coming out. I think he saw what I was doing when it was running back in. I don't know. But
See, that's where I'm a little thrown off here. Okay, because he is sitting in the back seat of that truck when he is hit. Okay, because the bullet goes right through the door. 3 bullets went through that door. Okay, he wasn't hit standing outside the truck.
Oh no, I know I shot through the door,
Okay, so
driving him back.
How's he getting out of the door if you're shooting through it? You're confusing us.
All right. When the latch is coming off the door, that's when I went to do what I was doing with the gun. And when I came back, I'm firing.
When the latch is coming off the door?
No, when I got my gun out of the.
When you said earlier about when you see the latch, what do you mean by the latch coming?
Well,
off
the door's opening and he's stepping out.
Okay, so he's stepping out.
Yes, and then
And you go and reach, but by the time you come back and come up just blazing, somehow he's still sitting in the truck.
Well, maybe I'm not as fast with the whole thing as I think I am, but it was.
Or maybe he wasn't getting out of the truck.
No, absolutely he was.
This was refuted by forensics. The victim never got out of the truck, and the door was shut at the time the suspect opened fire. This was proven by correlating the angles of the
Based
bullets
off
that
of
came
bullet
through
angles,
the
yep.
door, alongside the
And
entry
impact.
and exit wounds to the victim.
You're saying you feel like you have a threat that this guy's got a shotgun in your view. Okay, so you think he's getting out of the car. Okay, so you turn to get yours.
You guys would be amazed. You guys would be amazed by how many people don't know how easy it is to prove how bullet entry points work. Like literally bullets don't curve. Like they don't like fucking whip around. Like they go straight, like fast, straight. That's why they're dangerous, because they can just go through shit at like a high speed. So there is a very clear point, a very straight point to analyze and see exactly what location this bullet entered in and went to. So it amazes me that so many people just don't know this. It's so funny. And like, even if they opened the door, all the bullets went through the car door. So if the door was open, they would have just gone straight through and gone past the car, right? Hit nobody. If he shot as the door opened. Nope.
If he's unarmed, which he is, why is he going to be?
I don't know. Maybe he
Now
thinks I'm unarmed. The sad fact
Probably
of
should
it
be.
is he's telling me he's going to kill me. You're dead, bitch.
Because you asked him to turn the radio down?
See, that's the part where I don't understand.
And you know what? And I'll tell
they
you,
were getting really agitated.
I understand it because believe me, we deal with guys who you ask them to turn their radio down, they would get out of the car and shoot you. We deal with those kind of dudes all the time.
I don't know about that.
Here's what I can almost bet you a year of my salary on. When you got into a confrontation with those guys, a man of your stature, if there was a gun in that truck, they would have shot you. They wouldn't have had to get out. They would have shot right through. They would have shot from the truck just like you were shooting from your car. People don't get out of the car to be seen when they're shooting someone. They're going to shoot you right inside that truck.
A man of your stature.
He's getting out of his car. We're this close to each other.
He said this old ass dude would be dead.
Getting out of his car after repeatedly telling me that he was going to kill me. So, is he going to bite my ear off or shoot me with a shotgun? I wasn't too concerned about how he intended to do it.
If you thought he had a shotgun, you most likely would be concerned with how he intended to do it. You would be likely more concerned with being shot with a shotgun as opposed to having your ear bitten off.
Now, and I'll tell you this. We talked to the other guys in the car, and they will all tell us he didn't like the fact that some stranger's telling him to turn his music down. He's 17. He's a teenager. Okay, you know how teenagers are. They're a little hard-headed sometimes, especially when they're out on their own. And did he
not as much as this guy
throw some F-bombs at you? Basically tell you to go fuck yourself?
Probably.
Multiple times?
Deservingly.
Absolutely. They said, yep, he was jaw-jacking back and forth with that guy.
Good.
But at no time did any of them say, well, okay, he did say he was going to kill him. Because it makes no sense, because what's he going to do?
Not get out of his
He's
car.
not armed. What's he going to, I'm going to kill you and get out of a car. And we're talking about a kid. You know how many times that kid's been to jail? Never. He has no history of violence, and it's not like we're getting some street
thug.
thug.
This kid has is a truancy in school.
We're not talking about a violent kid here. He has no track record. There are guys in Jacksonville who I'd go, okay, I believe that, because they got track records. This kid ain't got no track record. The kid sitting next to him doesn't have a track record. The kid sitting in front of him doesn't have a track record. None of them do. These aren't violent guys.
Shocked.
They pull up so the
Look how
driver
much
can
he
run in and buy
doesn't believe
cigarettes.
it, too.
The only reason they're even there. They just got back from going to the mall. That's it. So I have a hard time buying how I can totally see him talking shit to you. I can see that. But to take it to a level that he's threatening to end your life when he can't. There's no way he can. He doesn't have anything.
I didn't know that.
I know.
That's all the reason that you not knowing that is all the reason why you took your next step too far.
Yeah, the problem is you went from 0 to 100 without ever getting to 50.
I have a guy very irate saying he wants me dead. Well, if the other guys aren't corroborating, I'm sorry, but
And understand too, there's people in the parking lot that can hear what's going on too.
Not one of them. We have what's called independent witnesses.
Yeah, not associated.
I understand. I wasn't sure that I heard him right. That's why I
shot him anyway? No.
Is this directed towards me? You're going to kill me?
And that happens to be an exact quote of, "Are you talking to me?" That was an exact quote. Guys with the truck said. He said something to the effect of, "Are you talking to me?"
Yeah.
So that's dead on. Yeah, he was talking to you. He's basically telling you to go fuck yourself, and I'm going to turn the music back up.
Yeah, no, the music was already up, and he's talking, kill the guy.
I just can't understand, if the music is up to the point where you're asking them to turn it down, how can you also hear the conversation that they're having? It's not making any sense.
He's livid. He's not talking. He's yelling. And my window's up, and I can hear him. I'm not making out all the words. But then I hear, you know, kill that son of a bitch, or kill that motherfucker, I think is what he was saying.
How do you know it was him saying it?
Well, when I put the window down and I asked him, he said the same thing. Yeah, kill a motherfucker. And then when he was opening his door, that's when he said, "You're dead, bitch." And you know, when
he pulled out the
they didn't have a
stick
weapon,
from his
he's
car
on the ground, and you put something up on the thing, and then gets out. I thought it was a shotgun, or a stick, or you know, some kind of weapon. But he's confrontational.
I could not be a detective, dude. I would just make fun of people. I'd be making fun of these people so badly.
And I didn't know he's 17. I thought he was a full-grown man.
No.
And,
yeah, I called them kids earlier.
I don't know how many kids are in that, but
they were
the
kids.
windows are down for the back seat. I didn't know he's 17. I thought he was a full-grown man. I thought they all were. And in my mind, they're all going to get out of the truck.
Well, if you kill an adult, that makes it better.
You know, had that been the case, we would have a different argument. Had anyone been out of the truck, walking towards you in any type of threatening manner, we would have
we were parked right next to each other.
Yes.
So there was no walking. It was him getting out, and then he was an arm reach from me.
But those cars are so close to each other, though. Him getting out, it's going to be hard for him to get out because he's back away from you. His door opens up. He's actually going to be shielding himself from where you are.
It'd probably also make it harder to shoot him.
All these things you're saying are great, but you know, I didn't analyze all these things.
I like what you're throwing out there.
Scared out of me.
Oh no!
And some guys.
Great contribution. Gonna have to
telling
disagree.
Me what he's gonna do or wants to do. I react.
Really love the energy you're putting out in this interrogation, but I mean, we're gonna move on.
Here telling you guys, I was in fear for my life. I honestly was. I have so much going on in my personal life. The last thing I want to do is be in trouble. I don't want to cause you guys a sleepless night. I don't want to lose my freedom.
He reverts back to this premise multiple times. He continuously associates these two reasons with the notion that he wasn't the instigator, yet not once does he mention that he wouldn't want a teenager to lose his life over a verbal altercation.
This is what we do. Don't worry about that. This is what we do.
Well, I mean, the last thing I'm looking for is trouble. The last thing.
Cool, so you still killed a teenager with a lot of life ahead of them.
So, I don't want to sound...
Sounds like you don't get any more life. All out. Goodbye.
Like an asshole, but
you lost your life.
Where a shotgun was coming up, I
lost
think
your
live
with freedom.
You know what,
Not be
Mr.
afraid
Dunn?
to do the same.
If there was a shotgun coming up at you, we would expect you to do what you did. The problem that we have is that there is no shotgun. That's the bridge that we got to get across. You keep dwelling on the shotgun as if there was one at the scene. If there was a shotgun, a BB gun, any type of gun at the scene. Hell, if it was a water gun that was black, that looked real at the scene.
Like I said, it was a barrel. Could have been just a stick, but I mean, it was.
Could it have been your imagination?
It's certain. Well, no.
No.
He said no with a rising intonation.
No.
The way in which he said the word doesn't correlate with its message. The intonation was more matched with the word maybe.
It's certain. Well, no.
The pressure he's under is causing disorientation in his critical thinking. He was unable to process the adjustment in his thoughts to his words quick enough, and that's why they came out mixed together.
I mean, anything's possible.
Psychological error. Let's go, baby.
Him coming out of his car was not my imagination.
We love a good
and
processing
it was
error.
Right after I saw that he started coming out of his car and saying, "You're dead, bitch."
When you went and grabbed your gun, racked it, and came back around, what were you shooting at? Did you acquire a target or did you just start shooting?
I shot at the door.
Which door? Which door?
The door had a stick. I was threatened.
Passenger.
You shot at his door?
Yes.
Okay.
The door had a barrel.
Saved my life?
From the door?
No, he was coming out of his door, and I guess he went back in it, but that's where he was. Prior.
From the door?
Let him exchange words. He opened the door to go in the store to use the bathroom.
He wouldn't have said you're dead, bitch.
This would totally be me. I would... Oh, dude, I would bully suspects so hard. I would laugh, dude. I'd be laughing in the interrogation room. Throw the whole vibe off. I'd get fired.
We are so lucky. Really? There should be 3 of those 4 should have been hit. 3 of those 4. You could have 3 dead guys.
Point blank. Okay, yeah. Can we talk about? Yeah, that's a good point. Can we talk about how they were like literally? You know how close another parking spot is to you? It's like this. Like it's like 3 feet. There was 4 people in that car. And he missed like 7 of his 10 shots. I mean, yeah, like seriously. Thankfully, this dude is an idiot and a terrible shot. What a loser. Imagine being like a big gun guy and also a terrible shot. That's like the people I'm gonna piss people off by saying this. This is like the people that are like way into football and like make fun of professional players, but like can't even do anything with the sport themselves. Like never even could. Even when they were in like their peak physical form, they were never able to. Stormtrooper aim.
Okay. Luckily for the guy in the front seat, his door stopped the bullets. They entered the door, but they didn't go all the way in because the front door's got bullet holes in it. Okay, and there's another one you shot when you were doing the suppression fire, basically.
Oh, when they were retreating
as they're driving away.
Yeah.
You put one in the back of the car. There's several shots directly into the rear of the truck, and one of them comes zinging in through the back and goes right up and hits the sun visor where the driver is as he's driving out. Didn't miss his noggin by much.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, so we could very easily have.
That's
3
very
victims.
fucking close.
Luckily, those guys didn't get hit or any way, shape, but they're all fine, except for the poor guy who's
the sun visor
dead right there.
That's like literally
it
this.
Didn't take him long. He was gone.
That is head level.
We see a lot of scenarios, and we deal with threatening situations. I mean, it's not, we deal with them all the time where somebody defends themselves. I mean, we do, and there are clear-cut cases where you go, yep, sure did, buddy. You defended yourself. Have a nice day. Unfortunately, this is not one of them.
I'm not.
I love how they're just very indirectly making fun of this guy.
Unfortunately, we have that effect sometimes.
Well,
I'm not feeling so hot. Wait.
Well, so hot. I'm not feeling so hot now that you guys are.
Unfortunately, we have that effect.
Well, I don't mean
cry about it. You're not going to feel so hot for the rest of your life, probably. So.
I don't know how I can express to you guys that I was in fear for my life. I've never been so scared in my whole life.
The police are doing their job.
But I was
they're making fun of me for killing a kid.
That I didn't have time to think. I only reacted.
What did you see the driver of the other car do when Jordan Davis said, "Yeah, I'm talking to you"?
He reached into his glove compartment.
It was a big silver chrome, either 9mm or a 45. It was a large caliber.
And what did the driver do with the gun when he grabbed it from the glove compartment?
He was holding it, and
that explains why he's a shit shot too.
I heard someone yell.
So he's like, I love guns. I love weaponry. Let me get the largest pistol in the fucking galaxy. I can shoot this.
Or someone say something very loud.
And what did you hear that person say?
No, you're not going to talk to me that way.
Do I need to get a lawyer? I mean, it sounds like I'm in deep shit.
Well,
you should have done that a while ago.
We have a warrant. Duval County issued a warrant.
It's a little late for that.
For murder and attempted murder. Okay, that's what you're being charged with right now. Okay, just the first step in the process.
The way I see this was I was scared for my life, and I fought back. And you guys are seeing this as murder.
This is where we're at right now.
Still murder.
You'll be.
I mean, like,
they'll
either way,
process
it's
you
still
here
murder.
first, but I'm not sure how long it's going to take you before they got to go through all that kind of stuff. But you will be brought back to Duval County. Like I said, this is a start.
Is there any opportunity to bail?
There's no bond. There's no bond on a murder charge in Duval County.
No.
Yeah, it's standard.
No way.
Right, is it automatic?
Well, I just killed a guy. You're gonna let me leave?
Self-defense?
I'll explain to you how it works on our end.
Uh-huh.
We do our investigation. We get our facts. We have a prosecutor from the state attorney's office with us who sees all the facts, sees the case. We confer with the state attorney's office, say these are the who sees all the facts, sees the case. We confer with the state attorney's office, say these.
We confer with the state attorney's office. Don't talk to the police. Literally, don't talk to them. I mean, I'm glad this guy did, because fuck this idiot. Fuck this idiot. But, like, how many times do I have to say it? Every single time you talk in an interrogation room, if you're the suspect, they talk to the prosecution. Every time. Every time.
These are
That's
what
the
we have
point.
as facts of this case. And they determine, yes, we believe there's enough to issue an arrest warrant at this point based off the evidence we have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we obtained an arrest warrant.
I really didn't know that I was being charged with murder and attempted murder.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
I'm sorry we had to meet under these circumstances.
Me too. I mean, if there is, you know, there's probably about 5 things I could have gotten done differently last night, but it's unfortunate it turned out the way it did.
It is. Okay. Well, I'll get with the guys here and we'll get you use the restroom for you. Okay.
Wait, so not only did this dude say there was no justifiable reason for doing what I did, he goes, there's about 5 other things I could have done instead. Holy shit, is he going to give this prosecution a tip while he's at it? Oh my God. Is there some built-in gratuity to the bill he's going to get charged for? Like, he's giving them this, he's literally giving them a shut case. Holy fuck, this guy's an idiot. Do you want to talk about it, Mike?
He was remanded into custody at the Duval County Jail, where he remained for 14 months awaiting trial.
Did you ask the guys in the red SUV to turn down that bass?
I did. I said, can you turn that down, please?
What was the response from the red SUV?
They turned it off.
And at that point, what did you then say?
I said, thank you. Very soon after, I start hearing things like F him and F that and...
Does it escalate?
Well, the music came back on. Now it got ugly. After hearing the something something cracker and this and that, I hear, I should kill that motherfucker. Here, I should fucking kill that motherfucker. And now he's screaming. Okay. There's no mistake of what he said. That is what he said.
Notice the considerable increase in both emphasis and conviction when making his statement.
He's
His lawyer
self-inserting
has now
that.
instructed him in how to respond. But unfortunately for Michael, the jury had access to his interrogation where he was asked the same questions.
Wow, I can't believe
The
that.
back is getting really agitated. And my window's up. I can't hear everything he's saying, but, you know, there's a lot of fuck him and fuck that.
Why, yes. Yes,
fuck
Your
that
Honor. They
bitch.
called me a
I don't know if
saltine.
they're singing or what, but it's like, they're saying, kill him. So I put my window down again.
I put my window back down, and I asked...
That doesn't mean shit. What is that? That doesn't mean anything. Like, oh no. Anyway, time to move on with my life because there's literally no history of abuse and oppression behind that. In fact, all of them. In fact, it literally explains itself what exactly it means, and there's no form of my favorite. That's so funny. He really said he got called a cracker, dude. Oh no. God, there's such a long historical relation between that word and the fact that I am white. Oh God. We love a white person trying to pull the racism card. That really works. That's how racism works, definitely. It's almost like there's a power dynamic when it comes to that sort of thing, and white people are definitely not the oppressed historically. God, it's crazy. Can't believe it. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask any of my fellow Caucasians. That's so weird. Who cares, dude? Does anybody care? Does anybody here actually care if they get called a cracker? I mean, that's not. I bet someone's gonna take this out of context. Like, who cares? That's the thing, though. Is like there's no historical oppression behind that word. Like there should be. There's no justifiable reason to be upset over that. There's plenty when the tables are turned. You know why? Because historically, there's oppression behind other racist terms towards other skin colors. You know what historically. Like a beep fly past my house. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? That's my favorite, dude. That's my favorite when a white person tries to pull the racial oppression card. Like, oh, you can make fun of me? Yeah. Yeah, they can. Yep. Pretty much, yeah. Oh, darn. Oh, no. My poor feelings. What am I going to do now that my power dynamic has been taken away that I never deserved in the first place? Fuck.
Asked, are you talking
my
about
pasty
me?
feelings.
Now, what was the response when you said, are you talking about me?
He reached forward and picked something up and slammed it against the door. I didn't know what it was at first, but when he says, yeah, I'm gonna fucking kill you, I look and I'm looking at a barrel. He's showing me a gun and he's threatening me.
What happens now? What did you believe was about to happen to you?
I thought I was gonna be killed, but I still didn't go for my gun at that time. I was just like going, oh my God.
No, you did.
Where is all this hostility coming from? And it was at that point where he said, this shit's going down now.
Not once was this mentioned during his interrogation. It seems to be a poignant recollection when stated here, which would arise suspicion as to why he failed to mention it earlier.
What am I gonna do? In your wildest dreams, did you fathom being in that position over a common courtesy?
No.
Okay. Now, at this point, what's going through your mind when he said, this shit's going down now?
This was a clear and present danger, and I said, You're not gonna kill me, you son of a bitch.
Okay. And as you said that, were you looking at him or were you now moving to get that fire?
I said that as I was retrieving my pistol.
Did you show the jury exactly what you did?
Well, if we say over here is my glove box, I'm looking out the window, and I said, "You're not gonna kill me, you son of a bitch," and I shot.
Okay. And do you even recall how many times you shot?
I do not. Kind of was in a fixed position with the tunnel vision. I didn't realize the SUV was moving.
Why does this dude think he's in like a fucking film?
And it didn't.
That was the cringiest shit I've ever seen, dude.
Okay. And at some point you realize now there's no more red door in front of your face?
This is where Rhonda starts coming into my mind, because I know she's heard the shots. I know Rhonda.
Oh, you know your fiance? That's crazy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no.
It wasn't just my life I was worried about, no.
Oh yeah.
And at some point now, do you see that SUV actually drive
Yeah, my
towards
fiance that
a
wasn't in the
different
car and
direction,
didn't do
try to
anything
drive away?
wrong.
It
Yeah.
did, and this is where the now they're back in line with, if they fire on me, they'll hit the front door, and this is where Rhonda comes out.
What was your purpose of firing towards the back of that vehicle? Were you trying?
I was worried about a blind firing situation where they would, you know, shoot over their heads or whatever and hit me and Rhonda. I stopped firing when it appeared that they...
Yes, my favorite term I learned when I was studying criminal justice, the blind firing maneuver. When people do this and shoot behind them. Approximately pretty much nobody who would do that. Guys, check this out. Okay, check this out. Right? Shoot. Pacing. Pacing flips out. As guns work. What would happen if you did this? Who wants to guess what happens if you do this? You shoot from behind like this. Who wants to guess? Who wants to guess? Anyone? Shoot yourself? I mean, no. Well, two things will happen. One, a loud gun will go off next to your ear, which would probably potentially rupture your eardrum. Two, a just fired gun shell will smack you across the neck at a very hot temperature. Maybe even go, depending on whatever you're wearing, it could go down your shirt. You'll literally put a hot shell casing down along your body. And yeah, also three things. Yeah. Gun backwards, shoot, recoil this way. Arms aren't supposed to do this. You're gonna, like, literally nobody does that. Nobody would do that logically, unless they're a fucking idiot. This guy would probably do it. Based on how good of a shot he is up close, he would probably try to do that. You get slapped in the face by a very highly a heated shell casing. You'd get tinnitus, and you'd fucking pull a goddamn. You'd actually just fuck your shoulder up for life.
Threat was over.
And how long had you been with Miss Rower?
3.5, 4 years.
Did you have a serious relationship with her?
Absolutely, she's my fiance.
Okay. Were you living with her at the time?
Yes, we were.
Okay. Was this dog kind of your guy's child?
Yes.
Not for long.
And what was his name?
His name is Charlie.
The defendant just got emotional over his supposed gallantry and undying love for his partner, and now accelerates this emotion for the purpose of expressing how much he loves his pet. In his mind, he is exhibiting appealing human traits to the jury, coming across as a man of clear nobility and selflessness who only protected the woman he loves from a perceived imminent threat, while also being a gentle soul that sheds a tear at just the mere thought of his beloved puppy. The thing is, the defendant only has tunnel vision with regard to himself and his own perspective. The jury, on the other hand, will be looking at the big picture. Rather than perceiving this emotion from the viewpoint the defendant wants them to, they may see it as a contrived and narcissistic attempt at elevating his own character. He has now shown the jury that he has the personality type to get emotional, and this emotion comes out as he self-describes his valiant conduct and gentle spirit, yet not a shred of emotion was displayed as he described the exact moment he took the life of a young man.
Mr. Dunn.
Almost like the jury doesn't give a shit about you. Boo-hoo.
Don, you love Rhonda Rauer.
Yes, sir, I do.
Right? You love her a lot, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
Right, and when she got into that car, she asked you what happened, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir, are you telling this jury that on the way back to the hotel, you told Rhonda Rauer that the boys in the car had a gun?
If I told her on the way to the hotel, I told her several times at the hotel. I told her several times on the way home that this was self-defense.
That wasn't my question. From the time you left the gate station to the time you got back to the Sheraton,
Play the interview.
Did you use the
Play the
word
interview
gun to describe what the boys, let me finish, what the boys in the car had?
I couldn't tell you.
Was it more than one?
At least one.
Mr. Dunn, the truth is, you never told the love of your life that those boys had a gun.
You weren't there.
Did you? You did tell her then?
I said you were not there.
I get that. I know that. Truth is, you never told Rhonda Rauer they had a gun.
That is incorrect.
How do you know?
Remember to speak loudly into the microphone so everybody can hear you, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Miss Wolfson.
When you came out of the gate gas station and you got into the defendant's car,
what the
did
fuck?
the defendant ever tell you he saw a gun in that red SUV?
No.
Did the defendant ever tell you that he saw a weapon of any kind in that SUV?
Uh-oh. Relationship tension.
There was no mention of a stick.
Guys, do we need to be? Do we have to leave? Should we be here for this?
There was no mention of a barrel.
No.
There was no mention of a lead
It's getting
pipe.
kind of awkward in here.
Back in the hotel room, Miss Rauer, that same night, did the defendant ever tell you that he saw the boys with a firearm?
No.
Did he ever tell you that he saw the boys with a weapon?
No.
On the 2-hour drive the following morning, did the defendant ever tell you
This
that he
poor
saw a gun
woman,
in the
dude.
SUV? No. And on that 2-hour drive, did he ever
Cool.
tell you he saw a
So
weapon of
add
any
perjury to the
kind
charges.
in that SUV?
No.
On February 15th, 2014,
What a cut.
Michael Dunn was found guilty on 3 counts of attempted murder, for which he was rendered a 90-year sentence. 7 months later, on October 1st, he was rendered an additional life sentence without the possibility of parole. His appeal was denied by the 1st District Court on November 17th, 2016.
Let's go!
He is currently being held at the maximum security Oregon State Penitentiary.
He got 90 years in jail, and they were like, fuck it, put him in there forever still. Let's just do another life. Pull another one in there. Why not? Let's just throw another life sentence in there. Fuck it. ×2.